All right. We are well. I don't know. I am back, and yeah. So my power went out in the middle of the last stream, and it is back now. Finally, out of all the things that could happen, a power out, amazing. But yeah, welcome back to another stream. This is an evening stream update on Hurricane Erin. As of the last update, which was around 4 o'clock this afternoon, um, Hurricane Erin is still a Category 3. We're gonna be having the next update coming soon here at around 7 o'clock, or somewhere around there. So that's one thing we're gonna be watching out for. OBS is showing that my signal dropped a bit there, but hopefully it didn't affect what I was saying there too badly. Yeah. One thing with the next update, released later through tonight, it is expected to re-intensify to Category 4 later through tonight. We'll take a look at all the other stuff again. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Are you sure about that? Are you 100% sure about that, YouTube? Okay. As I say, does it look smooth to you guys? Because it looks smooth to me. Yeah. Also, with the tropical development chance now, which where they had highlighted over here, right where we had Erin as well. Um, this is now up to 40 instead of the 30 from earlier. Oh, now the message has gone away now. Amazing. Okay. I swear, YouTube and OBS are such a weird thing sometimes. I don't know why. Can this not? I'm like trying to put in a tag, but it doesn't want me to properly work for some reason. Yeah, well, the next intermediate advisory is at 8 p.m. Let me update the thing here. Complete advisory 10 p.m. AST. So now that is updated. Last advisory, once again, has not changed a whole lot when it comes to the pressure and winds. The eyeball is starting to become a little bit more defined. I like what it was at earlier, because we go back to a little bit earlier. I don't know if 21 frames is far enough to go back to where it was looked like it didn't have dye that has now. So it looked like that, where we're starting to form that eye, and it looks like it is starting to clear out that eye slowly but surely. Because it had an eye there, and then it kind of fell apart, and it looks like it's starting to it's trying to form another one there. So it's likely gonna be a slow process for Erin to gain another eye. Also, another thing too, I think from what I read earlier, forgot which office it is. But there is in North Carolina along the coast and certain counties that there's state of emergency. I wonder if I can find the alert over on Weatherwise, because I know Weatherwise has a lot more alerts than uh Radar Omega. Yeah, there we go. Found it. Well, at least on Weatherwise, but not Radar Omega or on Twitter. Give me like 2 seconds here. Alright, so here's weather-wise, and you can see here, on this portion of North Carolina, there is a local area emergency, which it seems like it doesn't specify anything in particular other than a mandatory evacuation, hurricane evacuation zone there. That's gonna be mainly for waves, high waves that are be coming from Erin once it does end up getting closer to the Carolinas, especially along the North Carolina coast. Alright, let's see, because I don't think 18Z, I can't imagine 18Z has come out yet. Yeah, 18Z, well, it's coming out in now, but... Alright, so let's go over to the ensembles, and... Yeah, ensembles are picking up a little bit more of a signal for the next tropical wave and the MDR, which, if something does form out of this, which obviously start as a tropical wave coming off Africa, and then go from tropical depression then to tropical storm, which the next name, if I'm not mistaken, is Ferdinand, which that'd be the next named, whether it be tropical storm or hurricane. So this is what the Euro looks like in terms of ensembles. So the 18Z is starting to pick up a little bit more when it comes to the signals for the next, well, either tropical depression or storm. We'll go over to GFS as well. These are both 18Z, which, like, check 18Z. Actually, the 18Z for Euro is still Saturday, so Euro is still on the 12Z for the ensemble models. So this is what the 12Z model looks like right now. Definitely quite a few members over here, it looks like. Let me zoom in a little bit if I can get a good zoom on this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I mean, there's a few members, quite a few members in there. And it looks like the Euro also could be, if there's another way behind the other one as well. Potentially. I'll go over to the GFS, which I think the GFS has the 18Z. It does. Which I don't think it's fully loaded in yet. So we may have to come back later to see what's going on with the 18Z GFS when it comes to the ensembles. And then we'll take a look at this, which we took a look at earlier, but I want to take a look at it again. This will update. Maybe. Western Atlantic. Tropical Atlantic. Okay, there we go. I don't know why it wasn't wanting to go to what I needed in the first place, but okay. But, this is where that tropical wave is at right now, basically. Actually, let me get a cross-reference real quick. Which actually may be just ahead of those islands now. Yeah, it's actually like right down here where they have it designated with 99L right here. So it is in warmer, very warm waters. And then we'll take a look at the dust as well, and even the dust, which, I mean, the northern side and the west side over here would be the issues when it comes to the dust issues. And then let me load up. I need the shear, because I need to look at what the shear looks like out here. Let's see. East Atlantic. Well, where the tropical wave is at, there's not. I mean, there's shear, which is also another thing that the tropical wave is gonna be dealing with. Which let me go back to that real quick. So it's the wave is down here. You see where your reds are. That's your high shear areas, and then your greens is where you have lower shear. There's also is a tornado warning out there right now over in Iowa. It is observed. Weather spotter confirmed. See what this says here. Weather spotter confirmed narrow tornado touchdown briefly about 5 miles west of Forest City. May dissipate. Howard conditions remaining favorable for additional development. So there is. I mean, we're kind of far from radar there. I mean, got Des Moines just this that way south of that, and then we got I got Twin Cities just to the north. Which is it's both like in a radar gap, but also at the same time in between radars. Wish there was a better area here to get a view on this particular storm here. But yeah, we'll go back over to Erin real quick. You can also see on weather-wise the areas that have either a tropical storm warning or a hurricane warning, which both the colors blend in. Oh, let me see if I can. Where's the tropical stuff? Okay, there we go. I think the reason why is because I set to that. So let me change that so it's maybe a bit brighter. I don't know how much better that is when it comes to the colors of the alerts here, but even looking at weather-wise, which has a bit more of a smooth. I mean, if you get the plus, you can make it not smooth, but what's smoothing on, you can see where right in here where that eye is trying to form. But yeah, we'll go back over to Radar Omega because it has the 3D view of this too. Which from earlier too, a lot of the convection was popping up here and was struggling on get back on its backside. Looks like they're still continuing that tornado warning over in Iowa. Still has observe tag on it as well. That's be going till 7 o'clock. So another, well, a little less than half hour, but about half hour. Where is my YouTube? Yeah, I know I mentioned before, but yeah, that power outage, man, I was like, really? It had to happen right in the middle of my stream. Really? Because otherwise, I've been, like, still streaming from then till now. But now I'm back streaming, and we're gonna catch the, both the intermediate and then potentially the complete advisory tonight. But I think I just realized I have the wrong time on that complete advisory. It's supposed to be 11 p.m. I change that real quick. All right, there we go. So now that is set to the right time, not 10 p.m. because otherwise that'd be 9 o'clock and not 10 o'clock. Because usually there's about a couple hours between advisories. Although sometimes, like what we saw yesterday, where the data for the hurricane didn't change till almost a few hours later. It was it's 2 o'clock that last change, and then we saw, I forgot what time off the top of my head it was, that then it went back down to category 4. And then as it did its eyeball placement overnight, or was starting to do that, and is still kind of doing that now, but it's starting to have an eye starting to clear out. And that dropped it down to a category 3. And with the warmer waters, it should intensify over from between now and then overnight again as well. Don't know how much it will intensify specifically, because I know the other day we saw it being a category 5 hurricane for hours on end. And then it finally collapsed on itself with the eye, and then eyeball replacement cycle. Constantly check on this as well. Although on here, with between that notification over on, oh no, they did. Okay, yeah, they. I was gonna say, because initially with one notification they had still observed, but then they dropped it down to radar indicated. I am kind of curious what the. Let me pull up this analysis up. It is. There's a lot of surface instability out here, yeah, and even in the mixed layer. So storms probably won't struggle too much out in here in Iowa and Minnesota when it comes to like popping up like popcorn almost. Probably won't be super significant storms though, because I mean you don't have a lot of like bulk shear, effective bulk shear. There is, I mean, 200 and the value of storm relative velocity, which is allows storms to rotate. But yeah. And of course, yesterday was more Twitter drama as per usual. In the Twitter space. Whether Twitter space, because it never ends. Ever. Or it ends, but then it pops up every, like, blue moon. As to say, there are also severe dust warnings out there. There's one over in Louisiana for 7-mile-per-hour winds, and actually 2 of them in Louisiana for 7-mile-per-hour winds. And then you got one in Oklahoma for 60, one in Texas for 60, one in Montana for 60. So it's I mean, not super active when it comes to the severe weather component of today. I mean, there is a slight risk outlined up here for, I mean, there you got the 2% tornado risk, and then you got wind and then hail, but still looks like to be mainly wind out of the activity there. And then there's a marginal risk again tomorrow, although I wouldn't be surprised if we see a change to that, because usually on the next day, it does usually end up going slight risk for like wind or hail or both. I also am kind of curious to see if we have any of our 18Z models yet. Because that is one thing I haven't checked. Also, Mission 15 is out there right now. Let me pull that up. I don't think... Is this Mission 15? It is. And then here's Upper Air Recon, which... I imagine... I don't know if they're going all... I don't know if they're going back all the way to Miami or... Because I think they're out of Miami or... where is the other one? I forgot where. I think Lakeland or something like that. But here's the, this is an Air Force aircraft here that went into Erin. Which they surprisingly turned back quickly. I'm guessing they're doing a quick mission in to see where Erin kind of stands at in terms of an eye probably and wins as well. I guess we'll see what happens. Because unless that's from the last advisory, which is possible, but I don't know. I honestly I couldn't check because mainly because my power was out. I mean, I could actually technically checked on my phone. Actually, now that I think of it. Amazing. We have another tornado warning I just got issued. I think that's probably, I can imagine, I don't know, that's gonna be a different cell. This one tornado warning now. Radar indicated as well. This does include Thompson, Iowa. So if you're in that area, make sure you are getting to your safe place as you're now in a tornado warning. It is radar indicated, so it means that it is rotating. I mean, it could potentially produce a tornado. Hard to say where the exact air rotation is at, but it would be in there somewhere, right in the middle. Which is also why high-res spectrum width is also a thing as well, which helps with seeing things like rotation, especially if it's not super, like, I would say, like, not super obvious. Why is this not? Okay, there. I'm hitting the wrong keys. No wonder. It's like doing Shift V instead of Control V. I don't know why I've been doing that with stroke my keys that I usually use. I'm having skill issues with my keyboard. Alright, so we have 2 tornado warnings ongoing right now. I'm gonna switch over to the severe weather portion of this. Uh, let me actually. So let me actually, because on the other one we have the hurricane stuff. So we don't have any watches or anything. I do have severe thunderstorm warnings, however. Not that. There we go. And then turn on this. So yeah, we have 2 tornado warnings ongoing right now in Iowa. One is about to clear out within the next 15 minutes. Haven't really seen too much of that in terms of any type of rotation compared to the other one that just tornado warned here. So I think we stink. I think we still got a little while till we get the next update. Still with Hurricane. Hurricane Erin. Definitely gotta keep an eye on that. Where is my? I think I closed out weatherwise because I'm gonna put weatherwise on my second right here. I just realized, Corey. Nah, I cannot speak English today for some reason. Yeah, Corey Gherkin is just west of that tornado warning. The area that just got tornado warned. Let's see here. Spectrum width. Oh, there we go. I was like, where's the spectrum width on weatherwise? And what is going on here? Why? I don't know why Radar Omega does that at all. Cause that's a Radar Omega thing. I must keep an eye on that tornado warning. Once again, I'm gonna keep an eye on that tornado warning on weatherwise. Over in Iowa. Just in case we see anything happen, or you, everyone here, I guess, who wants to keep an eye. Everybody eyes the skies. I don't know. It does look like they issued a mesoscale discussion. Which, let me get that up real quick. Which they have, wind and tornado being the main threats, it looks like. Occasionally intensifying supercell structures posing a risk for short-lived tornadoes and or local damaging wind gusts possible through around 8 through 10. So within the next couple of hours, basically, that we could be expecting at least probably in a, I would kind of say an isolated nature when it comes to some of these storms, but because I mean they're kind of isolated right now, especially with the 2 that are tornado warned right now. So wait to see how much that eye is gonna clear out. I'm gonna load up College 2 page with their satellite site and go over to that mesoscale floater for Erin. See. Because the College 2 page satellite site has, I mean, it allows you to see what Ghost 19 is seeing with certain areas. Let's see here. So, I mean, from what I'm seeing on satellite, it does look like that eye is, I mean, slowly but surely clearing out. And probably once it does end up clearing out a little bit more than where it's at right now, we'll probably start seeing this intensify. There are a lot of dings from weather-wise. Update just now. Weather spiders reported a funnel cloud several miles south of Buffalo Center at 6:42. So there are funnel clouds on that storm that just went tornado warned over just east of Buffalo Center. Still going west northwest. It is indeed still going to west northwest. Yes. Because it did one thing that kind of influenced that as well is I mean, not only is it with it turning, but then it also had a quite the wobble through last night. And then it got all the way over here. I swear I saw something earlier that someone made like the track for, or put like a track of the wobbles that Erin had. Also looking at satellite too, we'll go back to that. I don't know if I showed that or not. But here's the satellite. This is on the shortwave infrared portion. Which you can see way back ago, it was not super clear. I mean, even now it's not super clear either, but it is definitely still clearing out. Which, but again, once that does clear out fully, then intensification. It also is a much bigger eye than what we have seen previously with Erin. Because with Erin, we have had a pinhole eye. Or if there's a long wave IR on here, but no short wave. Which I gotta say, this color scheme is it's like if you mixed a bunch of like relish, mustard, and ketchup together. I'm kind of curious. Let me pull up the thing. Is this it? No, that's not it. This is it here with the Hurricane Hunters, which you can see a lot of purple right in here, which is that big old wind field. I am kind of curious what the wind field looks like. Wait, I keep trying to click this button here for tropical stuff, but it's already right here. But you can see a big old wind field with that tropical storm winds. And obviously getting towards where it was more centered. uh, stronger tropical storm winds. And that would be another tornado warning that just got issued. See what's going on there. That is gonna be for Stevens and Rake in Iowa as well. So we have now 3 tornado warnings in Iowa. So we both have. So we're not right now. So right now, basically doing both tornado warning coverage and also hurricane coverage as well. Trying to see if I can. I'm kind of curious what the tornado warning shows on weather-wise. Weather spiders report a funnel cloud. So there's a funnel cloud that was reported onto one over near Rake, Iowa. Wonder if he'll go. I wonder if it will follow the trek or go more west before turning. I will say it'll probably do maybe like a couple more west before it ends up turning. I'll have to see what happens with this eye as well. Why is my okay? My headset decided it wanted to beep apparently, even though it's fully charged. Wireless headset moment. So also near Crystal Lake in north central Iowa, there was actually a tornado that did touch down. Yeah, there was actually a tornado that touched down. The skinny funnel cloud, skinny tornado. Looked like, only looked like this. Kind of. Actually, it's a little bit more like that. World's best drawing. Yes. That's really, I swear, every time I go back to satellite and specifically click on mesoscale 1, or, well, it's automatically set on mesoscale 1. Since I already clicked on it, but it resets this to 75 frames. I think it'll try to feed it into warmer water. Most likely. Right, so the tornado warning over, well, the one tornado warning that just expired out is gone here. So we just have 2 tornado warnings still going on. Both of them had funnel clouds reported on them. Alright, the new tornado warning was just issued. Likely extension of a tornado warning. Alright, this is going into Frost and Marna and Dell in Minnesota. Yeah, if it does clear out that eye fast enough, then it'll definitely feed into that warmer water. And then, of course, intensification. Also, like, can I just say too, with where the tornado warnings are happening right now, they're outside that 2% tornado risk. Oh, they're kind of close to it, but they're outside of it though. I'm sorry, was that a horse on the road by itself? I just saw a video of a horse galloping on the road by itself while someone was following behind it, but like, I don't know if I've seen it, how many times I've seen that, but also, I do want to talk about some severe weather too. With last night in Illinois, which I mentioned about it in my last stream, but I wanted to mention again in this stream. Which with both my weather radio going off a bunch between flash flood warnings and then also severe thunderstorm warnings, which is severe thunderstorm warnings being for wind, and a couple of those severe thunderstorm warnings being updated for up to 7-mile-per-hour winds, wind gusts, because he had these pockets of wind that would ramp up and then die down. Well, obviously when radar updated, you would see the like pockets where you see the like really green because green's going towards radar, red is away from radar. All right, and we have a new advisory. And it looks like as of now, the current advisory with the intermediate, the basically the pressure and winds have not changed at all. So, and probably, well, like I said, once we see that eye clear out and have full white eye, then we'll probably see this intensify. Probably be at least probably a couple hours till we see that though. Because the next advisory is at 11 p.m. 11 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time, which is I think that's 10 o'clock Central. I did not hold and press. Trying to turn this down to 21 frames. Okay, there we go. Actually, let me go down to, well, up to 30 frames now. You guys can, know what, maybe say 5 frames is actually perfect to see what's going on here. Yeah, it looks good enough. As I can imagine, the tornado warning in Minnesota is probably basically the same source. Yeah, same source. Weather Spires reported funnel cloud. Also looks like Corey Gherkin just drove through the tornado warning. Oh, the one tornado warning in Iowa, over near Buffalo Center. Not sure if we'll see that get extended here in a second, but we'll know if it does, because my radar mega will start alarming the sound. Going, boop, boop. And then the other tornado warning that was over in Iowa will probably get canceled out, as that's now in the Minnesota side now. Or the tornado warning storm that was in Iowa is now in Minnesota. Horse-sized hail is also possible with that tornado warning storm near Buffalo Center. Got more severe dust warnings coming on in. There's quite a few, there's quite a few, well, quite a few severe dust warnings, although they're all in different states. Got one in Missouri, got 2 in Oklahoma, 1 in Texas, 2 in Nebraska, 1 in Kansas, 1 in Montana. There was one over in, I think, Maine earlier today. Also, something I completely forgot I was gonna check is to see if models have came in. Alright, yes, they have. Okay. Alright, so here is the HWRF. This is like one of the, because the HWRF, HMON, the HAFS, A and B are like your hurricane models that are dedicated based for hurricanes, basically. And with what the HWRF is currently showing is like 931, which we can obviously, you can check the National Hurricane Site, and is not quite that strong. Is much lower. Well, the pressure is not there. Although this does show it bouncing between like the higher 920s to like the high middle to high like 930s and going into the 40s at the end of it. It is very zoomed in with where it shows it's at. And here's the HMON model, which looking at forecast hour 9 on here, which is 10 p.m., which is already ahead of schedule, with where the hurricane's curling at, with being at 946 of 941. This is kind of the closest here. And then going 943, 945, and then kind of keeping that pressure around there, and then expanding in size, but we'll have to see how that goes with that model there. The HMON model might be the closest, but alright, this is our forecast hour 6, 7 p.m., which is 7:09 now, which this is the closest compared to everything else, with being at 9:39. Also, just to interrupt that real quick, we now have another tornado warning. And that is now in another tornado warning over in Minnesota now, too. Going all the way from Guckin, Winnebago, Delvin, Riverside Heights. So if you notice areas, make sure you get to your safe place. And now a tornado warning as well. Also got Huntley in there as well. So we got 2 tornado warnings ongoing in Minnesota. This one hasn't been canceled all yet over here in not Minnesota, Iowa. This one is still going for another 20 minutes as well. Only a couple of minutes behind on radar now. I don't know who issued that specific one. Let's see here. Because on Weatherwise, it tells you who will issue the alert. Which ones in Minnesota are the ones issued by Twin Cities? Alright, that tornado warning just got canceled out. This one's the one over here still going though. But yeah, over here is Des Moines here. Also got a quite the size of a weather special weather statement here. Little clouds, possibly weak, brief tornadoes over here. I don't know how many times I've seen that. Definitely got quite the outflow boundary right here that storms could possibly fire off of. Let me turn off Hurricane Hunters because we're not really gonna get anything in terms of update on that one there. Alright, so yeah, this is upper air. So yeah, they're going back over to Lakeland, looks like. Let's see if what the because I don't think the forecast cone has changed that much from the last time either. Yeah, it hasn't really changed. The only thing that's really changed is changed it is this area right here, to where the position of the projected track is at, with the initial area with Hurricane Erin still forecasted to be Category 4 at around 1 in the morning. Although I wouldn't be surprised if, I mean, once again, once this eye clears out, I mean, it's still gonna be a little while till it does, but that's when we're gonna see our Category 4 kick on in. Now, severe industrial warning. Not sure where that's at. Might be Oklahoma. And oh, that's over in Kansas, actually. For course ICL, 6 mile per hour winds. I wonder how much rainfall I got as well. Because the amount of rainfall I got last night, almost like, well, basically almost 2 inches of rainfall. Up to my title real quick as well. Alright, so we got 2 tournaments still going for now 15 and 1 for 45. All of them have possibility of core size hail with them. This one still has been canceled out. I mean, it's almost outside of its like box. Oh, let me go not as far. Yeah, there's more. There's gonna be more storms training towards the northeast with this as well. So there's a chance that this goes up here. With this particular area here, it's gotta be with how it's going. Could be quickly going linear, with having a whole line of storms rather than scattered. But scatter slash discrete, I should say. Well, discrete is kind of scattered, but or is basically scattered in some ways. Got another special weather statement down here for winds in excess 40, even minor flooding potential as well over west of Peru. Peru and Illinois to be specific. There's also there's the severe thunderstorm warning down here in Louisiana for 70-mile-per-hour winds. I can imagine it's probably this bigger cell here that's warned for, rather than this tiny one here. Let's see, radar indicated. There is a there's a couple cameras down in Louisiana on has cams that we can look at, but I don't think they're gonna be pointing towards where that storm is at. Still watching Corey Gherkin's stream on the cell he's on, which he is on the one near Buffalo Center right now. Or actually, not, well, I guess not even really near Buffalo Center, I guess. At this point, he's over near Leland now, which is way east. They also did end up canceling a tornado warning now in Iowa, so we now just have 2 tornado warnings out over in Minnesota now. I'll go back over to Erin to see what's going on, which we haven't had. I just realized radar hasn't updated in, or not radar, satellite hasn't updated in a while. Because the last scan is 6 o'clock. Wonder if I can, let's see here. How updated this is. I think everything for the most part is way behind right now. At least on here. So we'll go over to the College of DuPage instead. We can take a look at that. Although, I mean, it's going to be dark, so This is about as best as you're gonna get when it comes to imagery. At least something that's, well, not microwave imagery. Which I do actually want to try, and I think it's Cyclonic has some microwave imagery, but microwave imagery doesn't seem like it updates too quickly on here. Yeah, so here's the microwave imagery, which looks like it hasn't fully loaded all this, maybe. Not sure what's going on there. See what recon is doing. Level finish, mission finish, upper levels going back to level end. There's this non-task mission, so they might be going back to that order, doing upper level stuff. Tail Doppler radar shows this. I didn't realize the Air Force airplanes had this. Or, well, one of them at least. You can see the strong winds. At least, especially on this backside here. Let me see this. So, looking at the color scheme here, with the color table, I got, like, because this is in knots. And a bar is 10 miles per hour. A flag, I think, is like 25. And either way, stronger winds on the backside compared to the front side. It looks like, according to the radar on the thing, the tail Doppler radar, which is definitely. I mean, data is never super clean, but it's always gotta have something looking like this sometimes. But actually, I can turn up the amount of kilometers. Actually, I didn't realize that. How far up? 7.5 semi-kilometer. So I think 6.5. Actually, 6. I'd probably. So 5.5. So 5 kilometers around. So that's what the tail Doppler radar looked at when it came to the hurricane itself. What is going on with my finger? Alright, we'll go back over to the tornado warnings. Do a quick checkup on those. Looks like, I mean, kind of having some range folding issues there. So got 36 minutes on, well, 36 minutes on this tornado warning still, about 6 minutes on this one. This one might get canceled out early. We'll have to watch and see what happens. Looks like there's okay. They're still continuing that tornado warning. It looks like. Let me also look at the. Where is it at? Let me look at the long wave infrared as well. If I can find where I have it. Alright, so here's what it looks like right now on satellite, while Radar Omega is like an hour behind, more than an hour behind. Can this, like, not? Okay, there we go. So this is what it looks like right now, where the eye is trying to form. It looks like it was trying to do some stuff there with trying to form an eye, but then it kind of failed, and then like a bunch of mini eyes before it's trying to form that. Alright, we can go back. So this is what we've been looking at, like, here. Almost, right about here. So let me actually, hold on, let me compare this to the site, and then compare it to Radar Omega. And let me try not to peak out my audio every 2 seconds with me being too close to my mic. So looking at Radar Omega and then looking at the COD satellite website here, it's pretty much almost like 1-to-1. If anything. Like, how let me switch between this, that. So, I mean, there's some slight differences, but yeah, definitely, I mean, not super far behind, but would be nice if Radar Omega would update. Also heard weatherwise ding a couple times here. I did not want to click on the Microsoft Store. I need to unpin that. That is really annoying to hit every time. Alright, so with the one tornado warning that is about to expire out in the next 2 minutes here, they are letting that expire out. So that'll disappear soon here. It does show only one on Radio Omega, but technically there's still 2 ongoing. Squeaky chair. Tropical storm warnings also remain in effect for Turcos and Keiko Islands. I don't. So I know. I mean, the forecast and all that probably hasn't changed a lot. Yeah, it hasn't really changed a whole lot when it comes to what the advisory says. From what I'm looking at here, I mean, obviously position changed, but life-threatening surf and rip currents likely across the U.S. eastern seaboard as Erin becomes a very large hurricane next week. Or wait, not next week. This week. Also, just a note too, when we do see this as a category for it, it'd probably be likely through tonight. Probably not a time within the next hour or two. Because usually it takes a while for a eyewall replacement cycle to happen. So we got tornado warning still going on over in Minnesota. Radar indicated rotation still, which the rotation in specifics looks like it's over near Delvin. Although it is a long tornado, like long shaped tornado warning. You can see more storms starting to pop up on this other side here. So yeah, this is quickly for sure gonna go linear, and eventually just have mainly wind threat compared to a tornado threat. Unless we have areas where we have embedded areas of rotation, and then those end up trying to produce tornadoes, or at least have funnel clouds with them. I do wonder what this looks like, anyways, with 3D. I mean, even though it has like the mustard, ketchup, and relish like colors, I mean, it kind of looks like the hurricane itself, and like hurricane itself without going to the visible channel. And we have another tornado warning that just got issued. Could be an extension of tornado warning. We'll have to see. It indeed is. Okay. Yeah, so your rotation is going to be right over Delavan and Easton. This now includes both Minnesota Lake and Waldorf. The new tornado warning also includes, well, Easton as well. So there is that. But yeah, if you're in any of these areas, make sure you are getting to your safe place as you're not on a tornado warning. It is radar indicated, but there is rotation nonetheless. There was one tornado that did end up producing over in Iowa. They have condensed a tornado warning inside a tornado warning, apparently. So, I mean, this is, I mean, just looking at this is, I mean, it's broad rotation. Also, trying to find more information on the state of emergency that was put out over in North Carolina. Probably not. Let me just search it up, honestly. Well, I found some. State of emergency for all areas of Dare County. Mandatory evacuation be for Hatteras Island Zone A as follows. Zone A includes of Hatteras Island, including the unincorporated village of Rodanth, Waves, Salvo, Avon, Buxton, Frisco, and Hatteras. Hatteras Island mandatory visitor evacuation zone 8. All visitors in hurricane evacuation zone must evacuate beginning at 10 a.m. on Monday, August 18th. So tomorrow morning. And Hatteras Island mandatory resident evacuation zone A. All residents of hurricane evacuation zone A must evacuate beginning at 8 a.m. on Tuesday morning. Oh, my neck. So that both tornado warnings are gonna be going for about 20 minutes. Both still radar indicator rotation. Check on the area rotation while we're at it. Looks like it was tight near Delvin, and then it became broad. I mean, still gonna be watching this area for a little while at this point. Let me switch over to this real quick. While we're on the basis of covering tornado warnings over in Minnesota. Also looks like this went from 70 to now a 60. If this wasn't just updated just now on that one. Which the one that has the 70 was updated 10 minutes ago. and the one that was issued for 60 was issued 15 minutes ago. Oh, looking at College page, and the eyeball is starting to become a little bit more pronounced. Look over to that real quick. So as you can kind of see from the past couple of times we've been looking at it, the eyeball was trying to clear out, and kind of see there. Let me increase the size of this. That is not gonna want to fit apparently. Okay. Um, Not let me just do that, but yeah, you can see it starting to clear out. And if we look at the long wave infrared, you can see where it's trying to clear out, and then we got a much more clear eye there. We'll see if that stays there or not, because once again, once we have a eye, and then once it also clears out, then we're gonna start seeing this intensify. Obviously, we're not really gonna see any updates to the, with particularly this area here for a while, because I mean we'll probably see if we do get another update on the area, which I'll probably say is 040 for a while. But it would have to be probably it'll probably either be later tonight or tomorrow or sometime during the week. We also got a couple of severe dust warnings over here, which are producing damaging hail and also up to 60 mile per hour wind gust as well. So got 20 minutes on this tornado warning. So I'm going to see what happens with this area here, which, I mean, it's kind of a disorganized area of rotation, but it is rotating. And looks like KLAT, or National Service Chicago, just released their summary local storm report, which we'll take a look at that as well. And you can see all the reports from yesterday. There was a couple of tornado reports down here. EFU or EF unknown. We got another one here which shows damage to a barn, I guess, here. I don't know if, I'll probably have to look at the damage assessment toolkit there. And there's a couple thundercloud reports here, over near Wilmington, Illinois, looks like. But other than that, you have a lot of wind damage reports and a few flash flood reports. It's actually a lightning report right here, actually. Poor house fire caused by lightning strike. See, I can't imagine that satellite's updated yet. Yeah, it hasn't updated on here yet. So right now, the only the only thing we have that's remotely updated right now is weather-wise right now. Which we'll go over to that. So here is what Erin looks like right now on here. And currently, I mean, as of right now, it's still category 3, but we should get data in soon when it comes to that eye. I don't know when it'll specifically be. Trying to see what today's flights are. So we got there's an Air Force aircraft that's taking off in 8 hours and like 8.5 hours, which would be that's gonna be not for a long time. So we might not get any data for a while on Erin. It's gotta be definitely a while till we get something on Erin, unless they do end up sending out a plane soon here. I wonder if what we got. So we got this blue veggie sears. That is a weird looking one there. So many long waves in here. Like all this is infrared here. I don't know what's going on there. Does Weatherwise not have a thing for seeing like on well, there's a shortwave window band 7 here, which is not like the one on College of DuPage. No, we'll go. No, let's go over to the College of DuPage, I guess, then, because that has a much more clear view of this. Let me turn down the amount of frames because we don't need to go that that far back. Yeah, it's definitely starting to. You can definitely start seeing the eye in there for sure. And then you got really cool convection. Well, this would be the really tall cloud tops here, but either way, it's Erin is on its way to being a category 4 again. Creaky chair part 400. I'm gonna let this loop through. Kind of once again, kind of just viewing this through College of DuPage because, well, Radar Mega is behind, and this is the only way we're able to see it without having a infrared long wave infrared like this. And we can see that the white features of the clouds. Itch my nose. Trying to also see what if anything at all. A lot of people are talking about the well, of course, the eye starting to emerge now. Also, I continue to check on. That is a very like circular special weather statement. Or maybe not. Well, not super circular, but it is a quite the shape for a special weather statement for some gusty winds there. All right, still got 6 minutes on this tornado warning here. There's a chance they don't end up extending this tornado warning, but we'll have to watch and see. I do want to go back a little bit in scans here. Actually, they might warn this right here. Well, once again, we'll have to watch and see if that is the case. Could be. I mean, all right, radar just updated. Yeah, that's just maybe a small area that was potentially rotating, but probably side lobe contamination, if anything, with some of that. What is this for here with the special alert statement? Wind. Okay, yeah, okay, so they did end up actually extending that tornado warning. Okay. So yeah, I was correct. They were gonna extend that tornado warning. So that's gonna be for Waldorf and also St. Mary in Minnesota. So if you're not area, make sure you're getting. If you're in those areas, make sure you're getting a safe place as you're now in a tornado warning now. As also gonna be in Minnesota as well. I can see my mic trying to like have an issue. Alright, they just updated this tornado warning now too, looks like. And it is being allowed to expire out within the next 3 minutes. Tanner Charles is on the storm right here over near Waldorf. There is what's called a RFD cut, and it looks like a horseshoe basically on the cloud. Alright, so this should be expiring out just now. Okay, there we go. And now we just have about half hour. We have a half hour on this tornado warning here. This is moving east at 10 miles per hour, which is really slow. Oh, whew. Looking at latest scans, that velocity signature doesn't look as strong as it was earlier, but I mean, there's still some rotation in there. The screen side, I mean, it's still kind of strong though. This is the only tornado warning out there right now as well. Like, the only tornadoes we've seen all day, other than the one tornado warning that did end up producing a tornado, we've only really seen the tornado warnings out over in Minnesota and Iowa. We haven't really seen, let me show the 2% area again. I mean, there's a 2% in Minnesota and portions of Ohio, but a lot of the tornado warnings were outside that 2%. I just realized I put in SBC sports instead of reports. So apparently I found a baseball and softball bats, gloves, and gear, apparently. And it looks like on the unfiltered there are 52 wind reports, 2 hail reports. So I mean it's pretty typical for for low end days. I mean, there's some days that have a bunch of wind reports, depending. like on the 8th, which there was a, I don't even know if they consider it as the raid show or not, but there was a big old MCS that brought a bunch of wind into Nebraska, and then again from Kansas into Nebraska, then into Iowa. And there was a bunch of reports on the 13th over between Wyoming and South Dakota, and then between South Dakota and Minnesota on the 15th, and then of course a bunch of wind reports from yesterday. There's 2 tornado reports. What radar? Oh wait, what radar is that? Is that lacrosse? That is lacrosse. Alright, still not seeing a whole lot of anything strong still in that tornado warning still. So probably once this tornado warning does end up expiring, I don't know what it, we got just got I guess check on Erin for a couple moments and then finish up the stream for the evening. Although we do have the next advisory come out in the next couple hours, which will probably be the advisory for when Erin does end up becoming Category 4, probably. Which I mean, with when it comes to Erin is gonna be, I mean, mainly staying out to sea for the most part. The Bahamas and Turks and Caicos, however, and all the way up here, are gonna be seeing riptides and also high surf as well for the threats around Erin, and then of course around in and around Erin with outside areas having tropical storm force winds, and then near the eye was having hurricane force winds. I can't imagine we're gonna have a early update either, because I know we had an early update, but that was only because of when Erin went to a Category 5. And well, that was yesterday. I think it was yesterday afternoon. I think that happened. All right, we'll go back over to Erin. I'm gonna let this loop so we can kind of see how this eye has been kind of evolving over the past couple of hours. Which I mean, you can see it's clearing out right there, but there's still some areas here from it attempting to become a full-on eye here. It probably still has a clear out too. Although looking at COD's satellite site, it does look like it's pretty clear. Looks like they have released a new outlook. Looks like I don't know if it's still the same from the last one. I think they changed though. No, yeah, it's definitely changed. They expanded the slight risk area, so now includes a good portion of Nebraska, southeastern South Dakota, and northwest Iowa and southwestern Minnesota. They have moved over to 2% tornado risk as well, to where we had currently have tornado warning. Oh, one tornado warning going on right now. Other than that, right now the slight is driven by wind for the most part. Holy, I just checked something as well, because I uploaded a couple of shorts, and, because when it comes to, with my weather vlogs, I don't know how many of you have seen them, with, which, what whatever ones you watch, uh, if you watch them with those specific ones. I don't know how to describe it, I guess, I don't know, but, I usually upload, like, some shorts, like one short from each of them, maybe sometimes two, if they're, depending on what they are, but the one I uploaded yesterday, which came from I think the August 11th video, and almost got, well, it shows almost 1,000 views, but I'm pretty sure it's way more than that now. 1.3k views on that, which I mean, it's not super surprising considering it's YouTube Shorts. So I just realized the thing has been on Radar Omega. I don't know what I clicked. Oh, that's why I clicked. Now, weather-wise, it popped back up. I don't know why it reset the settings on that. I still got another 20 minutes on this tornado warning still. Also from radar here, well, there's gonna be winds aloft, but I mean, still got some pretty gusty winds. They did issue a special weather statement here for 50 to 55 mile per hour winds compared to up to 60 mile per hour winds. Although I wouldn't be surprised if in some pockets we did have 60 in it. What is this? Alright, I think they're allowing that to expire out as well, looks like. They're consistently checking on it, which, I mean, on here the radar is, I keep actually saying radar, it's, satellite. Well, looks like the MDR portion of the satellite looks like it's 10 minutes behind, but the mesoscale, the mesoscale itself is, like, up to date, which this thing is still struggling, I think, to get its eye together, because now there's this right here popping up as it's going. Which is probably gotta do that for a little while. I would give probably even till probably through tonight that they'll keep doing that, and then finally gets act together after a while. Because it's been doing an eyeball replacement cycle through the entirety of today. I'm kind of curious what the COD satellite looks like. Yeah, that I mean, the eye was a little bit more open earlier, but now it's closing back up again. So here's what that looks like on the satellite with the shortwave infrared. You can see where it was a little more open, but then it's now closing back up again, and you can see where on the long wave infrared, that would be popping up back then there. So I guess we'll see what happens with the next couple of next few hours through tonight. And depending on what happens through tonight, um, especially with when it does that, successfully do that eye wall placement, if it does, I shouldn't have too much issue doing so, but alright, so, well, with this tornado warning here, rotation is pretty much non-existent at this point on there. Uh, and also, we aren't gonna get, well, once again, are not gonna get an advisory for the next couple hours or so. But not really, I mean, unless it does end up going category 4, and then with the next update, which it might, it probably, there's a good chance it does, but we'll have to wait for Recon to get out there. Where is my Cyclone? Oh, right, it's over here. Okay. I don't know if we have any missions out there right now going towards the eye. I don't think we do. There's upper level. Yeah, there's not really any. It seems like not really any flights going out as of now. So, and looks like, I mean, it's still gonna be a couple days before Hurricane Erin makes its way more north towards the Carolinas, which the 20th is on Wednesday. Which I might make another update sometime later this week on Erin, if we don't have anything uh pending that there isn't anything super major when it comes to Erin, such as rapid intensification back up to category 5 again, but for the most part, I think the next update I do in terms on Erin probably Wednesday, but yeah. All right. I'll keep you guys updated on the community tab as well on YouTube because I do post quite a bit there. But yeah. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next stream I do. Not sure when it'll be. Likely Wednesday, since Erin will probably be a little bit more north. Pending that we don't have any major updates between now and through tonight and the next couple days. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next stream. Stay safe out there.